Guys, how are we? Today we're going to be checking out a Garbodor list that I found online. I will link the list in the description for this one, but I've run a few games with it so far and it's actually pretty fun. So we use the Garbodor from I think it's Paradox Rift. It's got the Chuck attack. So we're going to utilize Pokemon Tool cards to deal a bunch of damage, and I've managed to hit numbers with this deck to about 350 to 400 damage a turn. So we utilize the Chuck attack here, and we want to reshuffle with the Snorlaxes. So Snorlax has an ability here where once during my turn, I can put up to 2 leftover cards from my discard pile into my hand. So we use this with 4 copies of leftovers to deal a turn a minimum of 200 damage, which is amazing. We also utilize Town Store. Town Store will let us grab extra item cards, as well as our draw engine being the Dunsparce line. The Dunsparce is great because Dunsparce has a free retreat, and the Dunsparce is also a great way to take away a bench space in case we need something like a Jirachi in play. We do also on the side of our leftovers run 2 rescue boards, 1 Rigiband, 1 TM de-evolution, 2 TM evolutions, and 1 Vengeful Punch. I've noticed with this it's best to attach rather the Rigiband or the Vengeful Punch for things like this, just to get the extra damage or to negate some damage, sort of utilizing the leftovers here. And to prevent things like Hero's Cape or other A-Spec tool cards, we're running one jamming tower. We do want to keep Town Store into play as long as possible, but we do run the one jamming tower just in case. The A-Spec for the deck is a secret box. This one will also let us search out any extra tool cards, any extra setup cards, which is amazing. And if we're having an awkward start, we do have 1 copy of Fluttermane in here for its ability, so we can just shut down and get ourselves set up, which we can also utilize with our 2 switches in the deck or our 2 rescue boards. So we're going to jump into a few games here, and I'm going to showcase the deck. Once again, the deck list to the original link where I found the deck will be in the description. Make sure to go and click that and give some support to the person that did create this deck, because it is a bunch of fun. So yeah, let's get into a few games and let's see how we go on the ladder. Okay, starting off nicely here, we've got Ceiling Fan 456. They are declaring the coin flip. With this deck, because it is an evolution deck, we do want to focus on going first, but if we go second, it's not the worst either. It just means we can use our supporters like Arvin to go search out our tools, but we will choose to go first this game, just so we can try and get our Garbodors and our Dunsparces in play as soon as possible, just for the extra support. So we will start off with a Dunsparce. We will put this to the active, and I think we'll leave the Jirachi in the hand. Depending on what's being played here, we are versing the Origin form Yalga, which isn't the worst matchup here. So I think I'm going to start. We don't have much we can do this turn, and that's okay. What do we have? We've got Arvin, play that next turn. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get a Snorlax set up. Or actually, no, we'll get a Trubbish. That way we can evolve on our next turn if we need to. We do have the Garbodor in hand, and we can just search out a nest ball with Arvin on our next turn. We'll keep the tool cards in hand because they are important, and I think we'll just pass. So the idea here is you want to get about 2 or 3 Trubbish set up. You want to have sort of 1 Dunsparce at a time. You can get away with 2, but the way that you want to maximize this deck is you do want to run on your bench the 2 copies of the Snorlax that we do have in the deck. Being able to get back 4 leftovers on 1 turn to hit for a solid 200 is always amazing, and I think this is also a pretty solid single prize deck. The last few videos I have covered some more single prize lists. I think for the next video I will go for a double prizer. there is a Greninja list that I've been wanting to build. I actually do play the trading card game physically, so I've built a Greninja list, and it is looking pretty promising for a post-rotation Greninja. So I think I'll put that one together and we can test that in the next video, which will probably be tomorrow. But they're going to grab themselves a Beldum. Beldum is going to be great for its Metal Maker. I think they did also put that into their hand, and they're going to pass. So if we can get the early hit here, that would be amazing. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to evolve the Dunsparce, we're going to put our Garbodor into play, and then I think we're also going to just play the Arven. We're going to grab our Nest Ball for the first Snorlax, and get us started on attempting to hit. We don't have any energy in at the moment, and that's okay. The deck does run 6, which isn't the worst, so I think we'll try and get the draw off of this Dunsparce here. If we can draw the Darkness Energy, that'd be amazing. However, if we don't, just tough luck, and we'll see what we do here. So we'll see what we get off the 3. We do get a Poffin. I was sort of hoping for an energy here, but we will promote the Garbodor, and just to be safe in case they do get the V-Star out, we will grab ourselves a backup for the Trubbish on the bench here, try and set up another Dunsparce, and then just to be safe and certain, we'll put a Vengeful Punch here, so if we are knocked out, I think it's 4 damage counters? Yeah, it is, yep. So that'll put us in lethal for the next turn, so we will just pass from here. We'll try and get that second Snorlax set up as well. I hope off of the Iono we can pick up some more cards and maybe get ourselves a energy. Or even if we draw a secret box would be amazing as well. So that way we can search out a tool and the town center, so we can pull 2 tools. We'll try and go for the leftovers, I think, and if we do get the secret box, they are going to Iono us anyways. This will give us a bit more time to figure out our next turn, I think. Oh, that's a bit rough. So we do get 1 leftovers in hand, which is not the worst, and it seems like they probably will use Metal Coating this turn, because I think they have already activated their Metal Maker ability. Do they have Metal Energy? No, they don't, so they won't be able to use Metal Coating this turn, thankfully, because Dialga can ramp pretty quickly in the right scenarios. I will miss it when it does rotate as well. It was a deck that I always wanted to play. Oh, they are actually going to Badoo. Okay. So we may be a bit more locked than we think, but that's okay because it'll only be for this turn. We will take the knockout here on the Badoo. I think it's worthwhile. We'll just attach here. Maybe. And yeah, I think we'll just go for a chuck. It is only 50, but it is lethal. So that's their Badoo gone. I'm not sure for Dialga list how this goes for Badoo copies, but I'm pretty certain it'd be just the 1. And it seems like we're having a bit of a lag spike here. I'm not sure if that's me or if that's my opponent. Please excuse my cat. He's being very talkative tonight. So when this decides to go, we'll pick up our prize. We'll see what they will send up. No doubt it'll be the Dialga. I haven't had many issues with live as such in the most recent patches, but this does look a bit worrying. I hope the game hasn't continued for them and we will lose to inactivity. If that's the case, we'll head on to our next game. And maybe I'll include 3 games here instead of just the regular 2, just to make it up, because no one wants to watch a half match and then only get a full one afterwards. So we'll see what's happening here. I'm really not sure. I am able to click on my own cards, but my opponent's as well. Maybe it's them that's lagging, because I'm not sure. I feel like my cards would have been messing up here and I would have gotten the Wi-Fi symbol, so this may just very well be a stuck game. I would just concede and move on to the next one, but I do want to give it just a little bit more to go. Our turn is still going down, it is still ticking. Let's hope it doesn't tick down too much, otherwise we will run out of time and we will lose. Okay, we'll give it until it hits 15 minutes. If it hasn't loaded by the time it's hit 15 minutes on the clock there, I will concede the match and we'll just start a second one. Just an unfortunate bug, I think. So 10 more seconds, and yeah, I think this game is pretty done for. Yeah, so we will just concede this match, as much as it sucks, and we'll see what we can go from here. Okay, let's hope for some more luck for connection and the live client this time around. We are versing Mr. TCG Fox. They do have an Umbreon coin and they are declaring the coin flip. This may be an Evolutions deck, but I can't say for sure. So we will choose to go first. Hopefully we can try and mimic the game that we had last without the bug. We will take a mulligan. That's not the best start. We'll see if they've got a Pokemon to send up. They do, okay. So we will mulligan, they will get an extra card. Let's hope it is just the one, because if it's any more than that, that is pretty rough. Pretty rough. But then again, nothing that we can't come back from. So we did only mulligan once, thankfully. That was I was sort of relying on. And this isn't the worst start either. We do have a Trubbish to put in the active, and a Poffin. I think off the Poffin we will search a Dunsparce just to get the Dunsparce in ASAP. But let's see what they're playing. A very spread out list of Giratina and a bunch of V Pokemon. Okay. So I want to watch out for Zoroark the most here, because the one issue with this deck is that most of the time you will only be hitting for that straight 200, and that is a great number. But for things like Zoroark 210, Arceus 220, and every other EX Pokemon that's in the format right now, there's not many things besides the single prize Pokemon that do have that number. So I think I will attach the bench here just to be safe, and we will go and pass. Apologies for my phone there. It seems like it's just reconnected to the internet and is glitching out just a little bit. So they will... This is confusing because I'm not sure if they're playing a Lost Zone list with Zoroark with Arceus as a support. That might be the option here. But Lost Zone already does have its own support and engine by itself, and I feel like maybe they would have utilized trying to get a Comfy down. They will go for an Abyss Seeking. I think that discards the top 4 cards. Put 2 of them into your hand, put the other cards in the Lost Zone. So they get rid of a Mew and a Switch card. Rough. We'll put the Dunsparce into play. We'll attach the energy here, and I think we'll just go for a Iono, because there's not much here that we can lose, really. Okay, what do we pull from here? So we did get a secret box. I think I will get the leftovers in the bin, get rid of an oven, and we'll just start searching out for our item we'll go for a nest ball, grab our leftovers, and try and get our attack sorted. I'll go for a town store, and what's the last one? A supporter. We'll go for an oven for our supporter. That way we've got 2. That's the next 2 turns that we can sort of go for with this. We'll play in the nest ball and grab our Snorlax. And our biggest thing here is pulling the what's the Pokemon called? I forget its name. We did pull a TM evolution. We probably will just use that. Just because that to me makes the most sense. We will attach the rigid band here, and it will just be the one Garbodor that we will get off of this, but it's better than having none. So we'll go for the Garbodor here, that'll place it there, that'll pass our turn. If we lose this Trubbish, it's not the end of the world. We can recycle it through with our Super Rod. There is only one in the deck, but with a 4 set of Arven, it's not the worst. I'm liking the fact that I do have 2 leftovers in hand. I'm pretty sure we did get rid of 1. Yeah, so we are hitting for 150 at the moment, which is amazing. So I think, yeah, so just going to Abyss Seek. I'm not sure what the hand is looking like, but surely they would have items to play. To search out things like Comfy and stuff for this support. Putting a Giratina up like this can be very, not very beneficial for you, because Abyss Seeking, you sort of get the same ability through 2 Comfies while not exposing your main attacker, and they also do need to search out their V-Star. So we will go for a Arven here. I do want to try and take the knockout as fast as possible. So what's we will grab a switch for our item, and we're just going to switch, go for the Garbodor, and then I think we're going to, how many do we have in discard? That's right. So we'll Town Store, we're going to grab our last leftovers in the deck, and then we're going to go for Snorlax's ability. We're going to put the last one back into our hand, and then that means we've got lethal here. So you can sort of see how much this does ramp up, and we are losing 1 tool that we can't get back through Snorlax, but then again, we prime another Snorlax onto our bench, we've got the leftovers back instantly, which is what I'll probably do on my next turn. So we will take the knockout on the Giratina. Nest Ball is amazing, we won't have to Ultra Ball anymore. And we can start just recycling through and picking up the extra tool through Town Store, and we can currently hit pretty comfortably for 250. This deck doesn't seem to be ramping too fast. They are kind of stuck despite having a 9-card hand. So they're going to play a Tulip for their supporter, which is just their Psychic Energies. They won't be able to recycle the Giratina, but maybe they'll try and prime a Trinity Charge. They are going to utilize Town Store, possibly going to search for a TM evolution, knowing that they have this Psychic in their hand. But then again, this could be absolutely anything. Could also be a Forest Sealstone, knowing that they do run V Pokemon. And they are going to fail it. Okay. Very interested to see what this guy's list is, because there's a lot of random things that are sort of like slapped together. If we look here, they did Lost Zone another Giratina, and they did just put down a Lugia, and they got rid of another Switch card. Switch cards in a V-Star deck, sorry, don't make the most sense to me. We will start our turn by just grabbing our Snorlax, and we'll play the Arven. We're just gonna Arven purely. You just want to grab your tools as you come, and we'll start prepping maybe to get a second Garbodor into play. So we'll grab another Ultra Ball just to discard through our other Ultra Ball, just to be safe. Did we already discard one of our bosses? No, not yet, but I think I'll leave this one here. So we'll actually get rid of the counter catcher, because we are pretty ahead on prizes at the moment. We're just going to search out our Garbodor. We're going to play this here, and then we're just going to go for our Snorlax double leftovers recovery, and then we'll just hit for a clean 250 again. We're not going to have to do too much else, it's fine. And yeah, so we'll go for our chuck. Just gonna rinse and repeat all 4 leftovers and the rescue board, and there we go. That's Arceus gone. So the deck does have potential to do more damage. So in a previous game that I had, I was versing a Charizard list, and I did manage to get lethal on the Charizard in one go. I think it was 400 that I hit, and I'm pretty sure I did end up losing that match because I did have a bench Charizard that was set up. But the fact is that you can, with this single prize deck, just chuck away so much damage and just go as you do. So they do try to avoid return, but it doesn't work because we do prevent the damage through Rigid Band. And so we will, I think we're just going to back up a Trubbish and the Dunsparce because we do have our setup pieces here. And put that here. That means we can get a Dunsparce on our next turn. And then we just go for the combo again. This will be our game ender. We're just going to grab a rescue board. We're going to recycle our leftovers back into the deck. And then we'll just hit again for our 250. So with cards like Secret Box, if you do need the extra damage, you know, you need to hit 300, 350, and you need the extra thing, using an Arven to go and grab your tool, and then you add your item, go and grab things like another tool, and then you've got Town Store and stuff like that. So, and then, even if you discard leftovers with your Secret Box to go and get yourself another unique tool and then just Snorlax it back, you can start hitting for those 300, 350, 400 damage attacks. So we will just go for our discard again here. That'll put 250 damage onto the opponent's board, and while this deck didn't really see any setup, we were pretty easily able to take them all out within a few hits. So that's sort of how the deck rolls. You know, we see over the course of the game we did do 750 damage with a 1 energy cost, and leftovers is just amazing for this deck. So what we're going to do is we'll just head into our next game and we'll see if we can try and verse something that is a bit more of a challenge. Before we go, I'm just going to do my booster pack here. We did have one available through the battle pass, and you may be able to hear my cats purring. So we'll pull a Leafeon from our rare, but that's alright. So we are into our technically second full game, hopefully, but technically our third game of the video. We do have Silly Baby 08 here. Not sure if that 08 is their birth year or not. We may be versing someone who is a little bit younger. So let's see how they go. So they're choosing to go first, and it seems like they're running Dark. Darkness could be a lot of different things. So we're not starting off too bad here. I would have preferred the Nest Balls over the Ultra Balls just to search out our Snorlax. We will just play the Trubbish down, and we are versing Hydreigon. Makes sense why they are going first. But that's not an issue. We will probably just puffin, grab ourselves the Dunsparce and Trubbish line, and then we'll go from there. So I think it may be worth it to Ultra Ball the Jirachi and the leftovers away. We'll keep the rescue board in hand. They are going to opt for a Bidoof and a Duskull. Dusknoir could pose a great threat to this deck, purely just because it would knock out a Garbodor in one go. We would prize trade here, but losing a Dusknoir compared to losing a main attacker is a huge shift. We do have a TM evolution in hand, however, and we don't have an energy, which is unfortunate. I think I will just play the Ultra Ball, and we'll get rid of these two. That way we can search out our Snorlax. Or do we want... what's in hand? We could guarantee the Snorlax, or I think I will go for a Dunsparce into hand, actually. That way we can draw an extra few cards on our next turn. And I think from there, we'll just pass. So if we can get it early enough, we can start taking out these dinos. I would prefer... Okay, so they will get their Hydreigon into play. This is the Stellar Hydreigon, so I'm assuming they're going to be milling us, which could actually pose a huge threat in the fact that we could lose very important tool cards. This could very much be what we need. So they do mill 3 and take a knockout. We do lose an Arven and an Energy, which is rough. But we'll... Oh my goodness, what happened to my voice there? We will promote the Trubbish. We will pull Rigid Band. I'm not sure how important the Rigid Band is right now for us. I think at this point in time, we just try and go for a runaway draw. See if we can't pull anything. We will pull an Arven, that is pretty good. And we will just go for these, I think, or no, we'll grab a secret box, depending on what's here. Maybe not a secret box. Maybe we'll just go for the nest ball here. That way we can search out a few things. We will go for the Ultra Ball, get rid of the leftovers, and we'll just get rid of a TM evolution. We do want to search out Garbodor ASAP, because right now they are attacking. Near Upper Energy is a card I actually forgot about, which is dumb, because I thought I would have had that pretty good on the go. But it seems like we don't have too much luck on our side here. I am going to back up a Trubbish, just to be safe, and I might even, because I do have lethal, I might even just go for the switch here and just put up the Trubbish. That way we've protected our Garbodor, and they will have to burn a boss if they want to take it out. I'm going to leave the leftovers in the discard, because that means if we can pull a Darkness Energy, we will hit for at least 100 here. But taking down a 330 Pokemon, we will need things like Town Store and our Arven and setup pieces properly rolling. So they're going to go for another Puffin. The Badoo there is pretty scary. And they will just take the knockout with Crushing Headbutt, milling another 3, that is rough. We do lose our de-evolution there. Another Nest Ball and our last switch. I'm going to promote the Garbodor. If we lose our Garbodor here, good chances are that we have lost. Yeah. So they do currently hit for lethal, but we do bench a Trubbish. It is not looking good for us right now. The milling is very effective at dealing with this deck. I think for a list like Hydreigon, having a opponent take control of what cards you're able to access through milling can alter this deck like that. We did lose 2 more tools, we did lose our main attacker. It is very rough, but we're just going to promote the Trubbish. Hopefully we can pull something like an Arven or even an Iono. We do pull a Dunsparce, and unfortunately we will just have to pass here. So by the looks of things, they will get their knockout, and it seems like they're prepping an Obsidian. And what did they mill there? Milled a Garbodor, so yeah, we have lost all of our Garbodors. So we only run 2 in this deck. But it seems like we just attach the Rigid Band, even though it doesn't work, that's sort of the only thing we can do, and we just have to go with it. This was a rough game. Like I was saying beforehand, the milling part of this deck is very, very counterintuitive to how Garbodor wants to function. We really want to take control of what tools we get, when we get them, how we recycle them, specifically how we can put things into play. And for a Hydreigon with a Neo Upper Energy, that makes it very hard. But that's okay. What I'll do is we'll play one more game and we'll see what we can do there. So we're into I think it's our 4th game. We've got Christian here. We're going to initiate a coin flip for once today. We are going to go for Tails, and let's hope we can start first. They will win the coin flip, but that's also We will go first. Okay, perfect. So we're actually going to start the game with mulling. That is very rough, and they will bring up their Pokemon, so they will be taking an extra card this game. It is only the one basic. We do actually mulligan 3 times before drawing a basic, which considering Snorlax as well, that is not an awful start at all. We do have the Nest Ball for a second. We can go through for some extra Trebuchets, and then we can even play a Secret Box on our next turn, assuming we do pull out the Dunsparce. And we've even got a Town Store in hand. Okay, cool. So we will start turn. I think we're just going to prioritize getting the Dunsparce and not the Trebuchet. We will obviously play our Snorlax to bench. We will nest and grab our second Snorlax. And then I think what we'll do here is, assuming we have another Town Store in the deck, I'm going to Secret Box and get rid of my whole hand. We do have the Town Store, perfect. We'll get our leftovers run started, and we will get a Ultra Ball and an Arven. Okay. We will play the Town Store. We'll go through. We're just going to grab our leftovers, and we're just going to discard it for another Pokemon. So I think what we'll do here is we'll get the Dunsparce into hand. That way we can run away draw on the start of our next turn, and we're just going to leave the leftovers in our discard pile in case they do want to play a Iono. They do have a hand size of 10, which is huge. I'm assuming this is a Garbodor list, which if that's the case, this may be a bit easier because we will hit them for weakness. I'm pretty sure Garbodor EX's weakness is Dark. I'm not sure if it's Dark or Steel, but they will go through and they will grab 2 Rolts. This does have the Steel weakness. Fortunately, we won't be hitting for weakness on them. But let me see for the Garbodor EX. Having to do a little Google search here. I swear I did play during. Yeah, it is. So the Garbodor is weak to Dark. They are going to play an Arven. Maybe they will search for another Poffin, maybe a Ultra Ball. I forget how Garbodor is properly played. They will grab a Nest and a TM Evolution, fully assuming they have a Psychic Energy in hand. So they're going to play the Nest Ball. And they're going to grab Radiant Greninja. Okay. You utilize Town Store. It's rough. Gonna grab themselves a Bravery Charm. I'm assuming it's gonna go on the Greninja, which isn't too much of an issue. If we do need to take it out, leftovers does do that for us. So I think next turn, what we're gonna do is we're gonna Town Store and Arven combo to grab our last set of leftovers, and we will discard them. See what we can do here. So they will Earthen Vessel, get rid of a Candy, which tells me they probably do have another Candy in their hand. They're going to attach the TM and their Psychic Energy, and they are going to evolve their Rolls into Curlier. So I think if we do take out the Drifloon, that means they will have to start attacking with their Gardevoir, and us hitting for weakness is not the worst thing in the world. Means every tool discarded is 100 instead of 50, so we can hit and one tap every single one that does come up. So we are going to start our turn by playing a Dunsparce. Obviously, just going to get that set up just in case, and then we're going to go through Arven, grab ourselves an Ultra Ball, grab ourselves our leftovers. We're just going to start getting our Garbodors into play, I think. We're going to Town Store, grab our last copy of leftovers, and then we're going to Ultra Ball and grab these two to put our Garbodor into play. I think what I'm going to do here is, before putting it to play, I'm going to run away draw and see if we draw an energy. We don't draw an energy. Okay. So what I'm going to do here actually is I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass, and we will play the Arven on our next turn and see if we can't secure ourselves an energy. Even if I top deck an Iono, maybe an Iono would be better, just for the pure fact that we could reshuffle through, try and grab some energy. It might even be worth it in this deck if you can find the space for it. Maybe take out a Trubbish, just chuck in an Earthen Vessel or two, because as you've noticed, and as I have started to notice, the energy count can run a little bit dry sometimes. We do run 6 copies of Dark Energy in this deck. However, it is kind of hard to find here and there, actually, and for cards like Arven, it does synergize pretty well with Earthen Vessel. It will play a Capturing Aroma. I do have the Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane will be annoying. We might want to prioritize getting Flutter Mane out, as long as, if I can top deck a Dark Energy here, I think I'll put priority on taking out the Flutter Mane, because I want to be able to use Snorlax's ability. That is very much the core of this deck. They are going to play an Arven, grab themselves an Ultra Ball and a Bravery Charm. They'll probably put the Bravery Charm on rather the Monkey Dory so it can soak extra damage, or the Drifloon so it's a bit beefier. Either way, we do take out the Drifloon in one go with the leftover engine. And it's just a nice comfortability, being able to take out Pokemon like this. Being able to do a flat 200 is always amazing. So they will put a Garbodor to play, and they're going to retreat the Drifloon actually and promote the Flutter Mane. This is terrible, which means we're going to have to put a heavy prioritization on getting enough tools. We do only have to search out one more, but we also have to top deck this energy. Okay. Are they going to Hex Hurl us? That'd be mean. They will put on. They will almost put lethal on both of our Trubbishes here. Well, they do put lethal on one, and they almost put it on the other. Which is a bit rough. So we will promote the Trubbish. Maybe we'll try and search out another one. Do have a counter catcher into hand. We're gonna play the Arven, and we're gonna go for a Vengeful Punch and a Poffin. Maybe we'll just have to set up another Trubbish, but we'll punish the Flutter Mane. So we'll go for a Vengeful Punch here, Poffin, and we'll grab ourselves a Dunsparce and a Trubbish. And then let's see what I can do here. There's not much else I can do here. I think I will leave the Garbodor on hand for the next turn, leave the leftovers in the discard pile, and we'll just pass from here. So finding this energy is pretty crucial at the moment. We can't get started until we find it, which very much makes me suggest, if you do want to play the deck, please put an Earthen Vessel in. I think that's the only thing that the deck's missing. Direct Energy Surge, even if it's just one copy, that would make it very beneficial. And they are just going to return a Brain. I'm assuming they're going to move the 30 to the Trubbish on bench. No, they're going to take the knockout here. Okay. So we've got two choices here. I think we've got one switch in the discard pile. We've got a tough choice. That's our engine. I think we can go with getting rid of the Dunsparce. Oh, the Vengeful Punch didn't activate. Yeah. Because it was damaged counters. So they were able to get their setup pretty quick, whereas we were sort of stuck behind. Maybe I'll revisit this deck and we'll chuck one or two Earthen Vessels in. because I think that's really what will make this the glue of the deck. So they will put a Glade in. Glade does have the Buddy Catch ability. We'll let them search for a supporter card. They're going to boss. Okay, so they're going to boss the Trubbish. So we do lose the Trubbish here, which is rough. We are going to have to plan our alternate attack here. But chances are we probably have lost this match. Just because I haven't been able to pull the energy as much. May have been even worth it to get Garbodor in, because at least we still would have had it. But we will promote our Dunsparce. And we will get an Ultra Ball. So what I'm actually going to do, I don't want to play boss. I'm going to bring up the Garbodor. We're going to Ultra Ball and get rid of these two. We're going to grab ourselves the Dunsparce, and we're going to attempt to draw 3 and see what we can pull off of here. Okay. Does mean we do have to promote a Snorlax, but we will bench Trubbish, get a Town Store in. Grab a Rigid Band, and we'll just attach it to the Trubbish here. And pass. So chances are they probably will get Flutter Mane back, because they will be able to just put counters onto Garbodor. Even having type advantage here, it is shown that it's not the most effective, just for the pure fact that we haven't been able to find our energy. So I'm going to Buddy Catch, search out the deck for another supporter, and play Turu, and are they going to pick up that Garbodor? No, they're going to pick up that Flutter Mane. Okay. Maybe to fuel Gardevoir's Miracle Force. If they take out one of our Snorlaxes, that is rough. But the best thing about this is Garbodor will hit double if we do manage to get a energy. So with Rescue Bot and TM Evolution, we will only have to get 2 to get knockout here. Seems like they're just going to go for retreat. Okay. Maybe they're going to snipe the Trubbish, which, if that's the case, is very annoying. I think Gardevoir in the next format can still be good. It does lose things like Profound Curlier, obviously the Glade. It does lose Radiant Greninja, but something I've noticed is that things can be replaced like this. Like, you lose Glade, include an extra few supporters so you can find them easier. Maybe even switch up your A-Spec to a Secret Box or something. We'll lose Capturing Aroma too, but it's not the worst. I think Gardevoir is going to be pretty good, especially with Mega Gardevoir coming around the corner. I'm not excited for that Pokemon. 360 HP, and it has a really good attack. Gardevoir EX and Mega Gardevoir EX are going to be best friends. So they are going to snipe the Trubbish, which is very annoying. And they do have 2 prizes left. We're going to Nest Ball. We're going to grab... What is in deck? How many energies do we have in deck? We've got all 6. Weird that we haven't been able to find it. Is our Rod in deck, or is that in discard? Because if it's in discard, we have very much lost. No, it is in our prize cards. And it is going to be very hard to take prize cards at the moment. So I think what I'll do here, I'm just going to grab a Flutter Mane and just prepare the fact that we have very much lost. This deck does have a lot of different ways to spread damage. Mainly the Munkidori and the Flutter Mane being the most guilty out of those two. It will pass the 10 there, and it seems like they will just snipe the Flutter Mane. I'm pretty sure they've got knockout on my Snorlax next turn as well. So as much as I don't want to give up here, we have lost our Trubbish, and there's our first energy of the game. There it is. There's the first energy of the game. I have no idea how many turns. We're 6 turns in. 6 turns is how long it took to find the energy. Fortunately, there's not much we can do. The Super Rod is in the prize cards, and we don't have anything to attack with. And we won't be able to charge up the Snorlax in time to Thudding Press. So unfortunately, they will probably just attach the 4, pass the damage over with Monkey Dory, and then take the lethal for Snorlax. Oh, they won't. Maybe they do have it enough. Yeah, they do. Yep. So that was a rough last game. We've had some wins, some losses, some bugs, but you can sort of just see how the deck does function. Like I said, we'll go over the deck list again, see what we can have a look at. Okay, having a look here. I think items, this is great. If I were to take out anything, I would probably take out the Jamming Tower. There's not a lot of tools at the moment that are really good. But yeah, like I said, maybe take out a copy of Trubbish and just add a Vessel. That way, if you need it, you do have the guaranteed search for 2 energies, because Garbodor, like Chuck is only 1. So if you can search out 2, let's do 2 copies of Garbodor done. So yeah, even if you take out 1 copy of the Trubbish, add 1 Earthen Vessel, you've still got it. But yeah, no, that has been the deck today. Before we do head off, I am going to do our usual, and I'm going to put through a code for a pack, and we'll see what we can get. Okay, to end the video off, we do have a Stellar Crown booster, and let's hope, unlike the last game, we can actually get something good. Raging Bolt as one of our things, and we do end off with a Melmetal. So I think that pack really does sort of tell us how the end went for us. Unfortunately, I did very much underestimate that Garbodor, but you know, these are things that we learn on. Anyways, thanks for watching. I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like and maybe even considered subscribing. I do try to do daily uploads. So yeah, have a good one guys, and I'll see you later. Peace.